Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you how the a la carte software works. Basically, my name is Jyoti and I'll be explaining you how this restaurant software works. This basically can be used for small cafes, restaurants, right, cafeterias and everywhere. So I'll be explaining from the start where setting up it will be a main issue, right? So we'll start with setting up. Now here you can see as soon as you click on the a la carte software, you'll see this all are inbuilt. So just open it and do test connection. As soon as you do it and continue, the server will be installed in your specific system. Right now it is, you can see right now, right, the software is restarting, right? So you can close the application here and then now initial setup begins, right? So as soon as you are installing it, the first thing is you can mention your company name, right? For example, any company name. I'll take about Tasty Restaurant or Tasty Spot, right? And branch name you can give it. So in this main screen, this both are very important, that is the name and the branch. Other things, if you don't fill it up, that is fine. Next will come the admin user and password. You can set it up according to your need. Now the actually setup is done and now the main screen menu will open up soon. Right now, as I've set up the username and password, I'm just logging in again. Right, so now when I log in, right, you'll see a main screen which opens, right? So in the main screen, there are a lot of menus here. We'll start with the master menu. Hey guys, as I explained you before, right, now we'll start with masters, right? Masters has a lot of menus inside. I'll start with the company, right? If you remember, right, we had actually inserted a lot of details about, that is the company name and branch previously. So just because we had inserted before, you can find, if you go to the view menu, you'll be able to find it, that the thing is already there. As soon as you click, this page will appear and here you can put in other details, the address, country, landline, email, TRN number, mobile, fax and statuses, right? Now this is basically useful when actually you're generating a bill and invoice for somebody, right? These things are printed on the bill and the invoice, which is very important. So here I am just generally putting any random numbers, right? Here we even have a browse option where you can put the logo if you want, right? So this was just an example for you to know what are the things available over here. Even you can, whatever, if you're not there, you can update it straight away. As soon as you update, the company status and everything will be updated, which is going to be printed on the bill. Now let's cancel this and now let's go to the customer menu. Right now here in customer menu as well, there would be two options. You can see new and view. View, if I click on, there's no customer because previously I have not updated any customer's name. So now I'll go to creating a new customer. Now I'm writing the name Arvind, mobile number, random address. So I'll just put in these details. I'm just taking an example. Whatever, put details of customer. Now what happens is, this is basically useful when, right, and somebody is a random customer is ordering online, right? To remember his data, you can put in the details over here, right? So when the person orders the next time, this will automatically appear throughout his number. Now this is automatically recorded. Now if you go to view menu, his name is already there, right? And now here you can, if you want, you can create more customers, keep on adding it. Now next, let's go to the supplier. The way we did for the customer, the same way we are going to do for the suppliers as well. You can see there are two menus. View, it is not there because I have not added it. Here again, I cannot add any supplier's name, right? So there were a lot of people supplying to me, right? So I can take their details as well, right? What are the details, what are their TRN number, email, mobile number, address and everything. So I'll just put in the details. When you keep adding it, this you'll get an entire list of your suppliers. You can keep a record of them as well. So I'm generally putting the number and details over here. You can add it according to the customers or the suppliers you are having it with yourself, right? So we'll just save it, I guess. Yes. So it says it recorded successfully. Now if you go up to view, it is already there. Now if I want to update something, I will click on it. Now I'll change the TRN number and again press update. So everything would be done and it can be there up to the date. Okay guys, now let's go to the next menu that's called as an hall creation. This is you would be knowing, right? As a restaurant, there are a lot of divisions. Like there's a people for the family hall is there and all. So there's a main hall, family hall, a kids section can be is also possible. So according to that, an hall is divided. So you can put the number of hall, number of seats in there. You can even do table creation. The next menu is table creation, where I'll be doing the table creation, the seat count, how many, which hall it belongs to. So that's the main hall it belongs to, and that is also created perfectly. So these are basically, see, I've created a list of halls. List of tables can be created. So you can name the tables as well, or number 1, number 2 as per your requirement. Let's go to the tax creation. Now tax is something where which kind of a tax is allocated to your company, right? So here I'll just name VAT tax. So in UAE you put a tax of 5% or 0. So I've just created 5% or 0, you can put it. Next is the category. Now category is where you can actually add what are the kind of food, categories of food available there. So you can put sweet, drink, Chinese, or Italian, whatever cuisine is available, you can add it there. You can even give colors to them, right? For example, a vegetarian is there, so you can put vegetarian. For non-vegetarian, you can put red, and you can actually customize it and differentiate it according to your view. This is a category of things there available over here. You can even enable the size, update things. So any mistake is there, creately you can update it as well. Next I'll talk about is the menu, that is an item menu, right, which is very important, and everything is made in a very similar manner where new and view is there. So if I go to the new, right, branch, obviously you've put before, so it will be already exist. Here as a code or a name you can put here in a menu. For example, sugar candy, right? Category, which kind of, it comes in sweet, unit, kg, pieces, right? Sales only. For sales in the sense I'm selling this, right? I can put the cost, I can put the amount, which quantity I'm selling, half kg, 200 grams. Accordingly I can put it in. I can even put in the making time, right? But if you have ready-made items, you don't need it. And even I can put the tax here as well, and sales in it. Tax will be included in sales, which is paid by the customer. Now you can create such thing, and when you start creating a lot of menu, if you go to view, it will be available over there. Next menu I'm going to talk about is the recipe. Recipe master form will actually help you to add ingredients of the sales item. Now each branch has a separate recipe master. Now if you want to set up for an item, the ingredients item will reduce from the inventory when you sell the menu item, right? So you have to just save and update the following, add items and keep saving it. I'm going to talk about is online service provider, right? This is basically for if you have services from Zomato, Talabat, Deliveroo and all, right? You can add them, and you can even put the service charges you're actually providing there, how much percentage service charges you're putting, you can put that, right? Next is the card. Here you can, it is basically to put your card details. Yeah, you can have Master, Visa. So you can put your cards over here. I've just taken examples of the cards. Whatever cards you want, you can just insert the card. Next is the favorite item list, which is actually would be very useful for you. Right now, if I have a restaurant and a lot of, for example, I'll take sugar candy, right? So sugar candy is selling the most. I will add it in the favorite list. Next here I'm talking about the offer creation, guys. Now offers is something which everybody likes, right? Now if I talk about offers, this creation is basically used to give discounts for a particular time. Now here I've started the date, right? I'll put the start date and I'll put the end date, right? So here for the sugar candy, the sales rate is 5, right? So now what can I do? I can go to item name, right? Add sugar candy, and now sales rate is actually 5, but I can offer it for 3, right? So like that, in the similar way, right, you can add couple of other things as well. So if you, as soon as you get to the item name, right, and you go for the offer save, see it all automatically comes offer save. Go to the next bar and select other items. So you keep selecting and put the offer price differently. So here I'm putting it is actually for 6, but I've put 5. So that's how you keep on updating the offers according to the dates and the thing you want. Now next I am talking about comments, right? This is basically you can put comments for your branches, like for some branches for cheese not allowed, or something like that. Whatever you, for a specific brand, whatever comment you want to give it to the entire branch, you can comment on that. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about accounts today, right? There are a lot of options. Let's take with the group, right? Here, already 29 default groups are given over here. Obviously, you cannot change this, but if you want to add, you can add up things and update over here accordingly. Next is ledger. Ledger also, there are already 20 default ledgers added over here. If you want to add something, for example, let me take Deva, right? I'm adding it here. I'll add it as an expense, right? And I can save it. And if you have the bank account and everything, you can add that as well, right? You can add in detail, and if you find, go to view, you will be able to find it. Open entry here is basically when you're opening a new account, installing a new thing. What is an open entry? What actually things have been, you can change the debit and credit amount. If you have to pay somebody, if you have to take money from somebody, you can put double click on the same thing and add it on the same page over here, right? And you can add and view the details over here. Next, I'll talk about general. General basically is here you can add your customer details, right? See, I've include customer accounts. Now if I go and check drop down menu, I can add debit. This is basically for debit, and that is for credit. So you can actually add, for example, debit cash. I'm adding it. So you can add an amount over here, how much you have to pay to the customer, or the customer accounts, how much the customer accounts have come into the picture. So what debit, credit, Arvind, that means I have paid Arvind a particular amount, right? And I can even print this. So if you go to the save, it will automatically open this page of print, and you can print down the voucher or the invoice over here. Can be generated according to your convenience, right? Now this is basically a general menu where you can add a new view details. Any editing has to be done, you can double click on it, right? Next, I will talk about Contra. Contra is basically dealing with cash and bank details and the accounts and all, whatever the money variation is happening, right? So here I can add the account. Now how much cash am I supposed to transfer to somebody? So how much cash, the check details of somebody if it's there, you can put that as well. And even you can put a narration, see amount 500 put. So in narration you can put what deposit to the company bank account, right? So I'm basically putting this contra is already added over here, and if you go to the view menu, you will be able to see it. See, you can already see there's a thing added over here. Next, let's talk about is payments. Now if I have to payment, I have to give to somebody of my suppliers or anything, I can put their details over here, right? The payee details, the bank, if it's already added, well and good, or I can do it by cash as well. So here, see, DXP supermarket, I have to supply, pay those people, right? So I'm just putting their pay credentials and all, and it will get stayed, and I'll get a invoice. I'll generate an invoice for them, right? And then I can send it to them across, right? In the same way, right, you can also view it. See, everything is there. So if you double click it, you can edit it as well. Now let's talk about the receipt. Now if I am actually receiving something from somebody, right, I obviously give them somebody's paying me something, I'll give a receipt to them. This is to print receipt, right? So I'll say if somebody is giving me by cash, right, I'll write the cash option or the bank option and save it. Now see, the receipt is anyways, voucher has been printed. So you can print this, and even if you go on view, you can see the receipts which have been printed over here accordingly. Let's talk about transaction, guys, today. Now we'll start with purchase order. Right now, this basically to have a purchase request. You can use this menu for, right? So we'll start with the suppliers. You can add your suppliers over here, and when you see the grid below, the row below, as soon as you can click on item code or item number, the scroll down menu will open, and you can choose the item over there, right? You can double click on it for changing it, and plus if when you press on save, you can actually generate an invoice or a voucher code over there and get it signed. This is very easy. If you go to the view, you'll be able to see the when you're already generated, the thing is already available over here. And now when if I have to edit it, I can double click on it and edit it as well. And even if I want to delete it, I can delete it. If I want to clear it, I can clear it, right? This is how a purchase order usually works, right? So all menus are there. So now next I'll go on the purchase, right? If you see the purchase, it is basically to make a purchase, right? If you have to create a purchase order against an order which is there, so you just write the order PO1, right? The first order which was created, and DXP supermarket, right? Supplier name here is very compulsory, right? You can write an invoice number. I'll just write an invoice number right now. I have selected, which is very important. Without selecting the supplier, it will not proceed further. And the item number can be added over here. See, the sugar has been added over here, so I'm just added, and the tax and everything is given below. You can add the tax by yourself, or it will automatically be added, right? So you can even change it, but yeah, as you know, 5% tax you can be adding over there, or it is 0%. You can change it as per your convenience, and that is clear. And if you go on the view, whatever you have generated will be there in the list. Let's talk about purchase return. Right now, here purchase return is if you have any written purchase which has been written, you can get the thing recorded over here. You have to just insert the invoice number, supplier. The thing will automatically appear over here. You can change it or save it. Now I have changed it, and I'll see in the invoice the person is already there. So the invoice can be generated. Right, next I'll talk about stock request. Now when I'm talking about the stock request, if the screen basically appears, now if I click on item name, automatically the request which I've requested is there. Right here you'll be able to see the new orders, which I actually add the orders because I've already added the things before, right? So these are the things appearing over here, and here I can add the new stock if I want to request it. Plus after adding it, I can save it, and then you can see the send thing as well. And plus an invoice can be generated, stock request invoice can be generated, right? And get it signed, sent. You see this is the invoice which was sent to the person, and if any invoice or anything has come, the voucher after sending it is shown in incoming one. Okay, here I'll be talking about stock request and transfer. Let's transfer stock transfer. You'll be able to see new, viewing, incoming, accepted. New, when you click on an item name, an item list will appear. You can actually add the items you want to transfer from one branch to another. This is basically used for transferring. If you have less of a stock, you can actually transfer stock from one branch to another, and when you add it up, you can, in the view menu, it will be visible the stock which has to be transferred, right? And when you double click on anything, if you want to edit, you can edit by double clicking and then update, right? Now incoming, here you don't see anything because I've not accepted the order, or accepted request is also not there. So let's go to the order transfer, right? Okay, sorry, order stock request. If you go to stock request and send, right, you'll see nothing because I've not sent any request, but the incoming request is already there. Now as I checked on the incoming request and I have saved it, right, I just accept, right, and I've saved it. Right now as I've saved it, I'll go back to the stock transfer again. Just a second, I'll go back to the stock transfer. Right now when I go back to stock transfer and you see accepted request, you'll see request has been accepted. This is just because I went to the place. This is just to show you that how we can actually transfer your stock from one place to one branch to another by putting request and accepting the request. So you'll get to know all the things happening over here. So here I've added from origin from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, so destination, the voucher date, everything can be added over here. So any new thing you want to place, you can place it. Incoming, if somebody is sending you, that will also be visible on the same thing. Employee menu on the main screen. Now let's talk about HRM. When you click on HRM, the employee thing will come. Now you can add your employees over here. So if you want to add an employee, given that you can give them an employee code. Let's give employee 001 or 002 as a code. I'll put a name. Right, this is just for an example purpose. I'm putting a name. I'll keep their details over here, so you can put in each and tiny minute details can be added over here. So you can add their nationality, the passport number, the visa details, Emirates ID, issue date, joining, what is their salary, which kind, if they are into a chef, they are into a cashier, what they are. You can even actually user role. If you've seen over there, you can even assign them a user role. For example, a cashier can be, if you're a cashier, you can even give them the roles and privileges over here. So if you keep the role name as cashier too, you can give them the privileges. So your cashier has privilege of taking accounts and a lot of other details, whichever you think is benefit. So you can add here the user roles over here, enable login access to them, right? So whoever user role or assign you'll be given, they'll be only having the authority for the access, right? So if you go to setting and if I go to user creation, so I've created a username password for them, and I've just done a user creation, right? And then I'll be assigning it in detail. Okay guys, now let me talk about the setting option, right? As I told you, username and user role, you would have understood how to do it. Let's start with the application settings. Let's go to the company setting. You can here on the top side, you can choose the branches by the scroll down menu, right? And let's go to the company setting. In company setting, there's a currency information. You can put it AED, obviously, right? Decimal points too, right? Tourism fees accordingly you want to put. You can put municipality fees, you can put service charge, you can put logo and report. So when an invoice or report is generated, your logo can be put in that. Multiple KOT, that is kitchen ordering ticketing system. You can deal with multiple things. After order, after save also you can do. Direct print after save is also I have mentioned. So you can even have dine in, takeaway and home delivery options as well. Timing is basically for your restaurant, which when it opens and when till the day time it's functioning, right? For example, I've started from AM, it starts from I'm putting it night 1 o'clock, so it becomes the next day obviously. So I've changed the date and I've made it the next day till 1:30 at night. It actually you can, the restaurant is basically open and you can save it. Next I'll go to the application settings. Now application setting is just to actually join your printer, the thermal printer, KOT printer can all be merged together. Application language is English. You can even choose wallpapers, right? So there are a lot of options, so just for an example, but you can choose your options as per your convenience. Next is, and then save. Obviously when you save, it will be saved. User settings, right? The appearance settings, already default color themes are given, so you can change it as per your liking and all. Application language, again it is on you, but I have kept it here English. Port setting, it is basically for the phone port, right? For receiving calls and all, for the orders and everything that you can set from it. So really a technical department, right? You can set the port number, right, and the device connected with it. So there are 3 devices in the thing. I have connected according to what it's suitable for my device, right? Second is port display as well. Here also you can see whatever you want to turn on, just scroll the arrow and it gets turned down and you can put the setting. Last but not the least, email settings, from which email ID the letters, the mails will be sent, the receiving mail ID, the functioning ID password required, right, can be set over here. The mail sending timing can also be reported over here. So here I'm just choosing any time. Let me choose the mail time at night. I'm choosing the night time, right? So it's AM, obviously night means AM. I can choose the branch here as well. Offset days, usually it is according to 6 days it is set, but the restaurant is for 7 days, so I have put it -1, right? And test mail, I'll just put it and save it, right? So you'll get the test mail as well, right? You'll be able to customize your own languages, right? So there are all drop down menus out there. So when you select English, I'm selecting English, and here Arabic, if you want you can change in Arabic also, so you can just translate in your native word, right? This is which is shown in customizing your language and all. So English is my language, so even Hindi I can customize it, so it will automatically get saved in English. I can change it as well, right? So all the things according to the native preference can be done in the system, according to the region, according to the place you want to add in, right? So this is in customizing language settings, right? Next I'll basically talk about is the tools. Alright, now let's talk about item import tool. Now, item import tool, what we do is when we browse an item import tool, right, you can actually from your local disk add in the items list if you have in an Excel sheet. Right here, I have some list, so I'm just adding it. Right now, as you see, it's already added. My items have been imported. Right, so I've just imported items. Right, so this I just made an Excel sheet of the items used in the kitchen, right, and I've just imported it. So this tool is basically used for that itself.